1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Sadat, sadat, sat, sadat, nat, badat, nabadat, dabadat, dooba-dooba-da. I was thinking about you late last night, to the days when we were kids. There was fantasy and wonderment, seemed like time would... My maiden name was Connie Steiner, and I grew up in a little town called Independence, which is just west of Maple Plain, Minnesota. We lived out in the country. It was called a farm because at one time it had been a farm, but we had a few outbuildings still left there. I grew up with 2 sisters, 2 brothers. At night, everybody gathered around Grandma's great big piano. Now, Grandma had made sure that all of her children took piano lessons. They took turns singing, and it was just the greatest event to be involved in. My grandfather would sit off over in the corner and just kind of watch things, and after a while, they'd find him singing as well. And I thought, this is the greatest thing. I have to be involved in this. I want to be singing. I want to be playing the piano. And I begged my parents for piano lessons. At about 6, I decided I'm going to be a singer.
If I'm delighted to hear a long-haired genius play, so you can keep your fiddle and your bow. Give me a Piano.
I guess when I was in high school, I was really interested in opera because as far as learning music, I always had classical music. Now, my dad was always interested in popular music, and at night, after all of us kids had gone to bed, he would sit at the piano and play songs that Sinatra and Hoagy Carmichael played and sang, and I really loved it. He was then trying to get me interested in jazz because he was interested in jazz. But my type of rebellion, I guess, because I was the good kid with the straight A's, and I had to find a way to rebel, so I just listened to opera, and I kind of shunned his attempts at trying to get me interested in jazz, which now I regret because I lost my father in 1972 at the age of 46. And after I matured, I realized that would have been such a great way to connect with him.
Ella Fitzgerald said it best. The only thing better than singing is more singing. What good is melody? What good is music if it ain't possessing something sweet?
Then in 2008, I went to the Yale Cabaret Conference. Cabaret is storytelling and singing all mixed together in an intimate setting where the fourth wall was gone.
That makes the tune complete. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. It don't mean a thing. All you got to do is sing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah.
I have developed a chronic condition called trigeminal neuralgia. It's a fairly rare condition that only about 4 people in 1,000 have. It is a nerve disorder that manifests itself in my face, and it creates a feeling of electric shocks that go through it. It started becoming worse in about 1998 and continued to get worse and worse and worse until I was in horrible pain. So in 2003, I traveled to Pittsburgh to have one of the best surgeons in the country do what is called a microvascular decompression. In other words, what they did was they put Teflon around this nerve so that any blood vessels touching against it will stop, it will stop the demyelination that is going on. When I came out of that surgery, I was left with no pain, but I was left with a hearing aberration. Stricken with the thought that I might not ever get to sing again because I can't hear. But Herb, wanting me to continue singing, he rigged up this thing with earbud in my ear, allowing me to hear what was going on in the room in my ears so that I could then sing with myself. We did that for a long time until the illness came back again in a great force in 2008. I went for a second surgery. This time, my hearing returned, but I was left with numbness in the entire left hemisphere of my face. And again, I was thinking, oh, my singing days are over. But the urge to sing was so strong, and with the encouragement of Herb, he's been kind of like my angel. He said, you sound fine, there's nothing wrong. So it was all in the feeling of numbness, the constant numbness that I live with, but I have no pain. So I have to say that's better, and you rise above it and you keep going because you don't want to give up.
Embrace my life in my 60s and beyond. They are special. They are important. They are precious. Because of them, I like me, no matter what my age. Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame, Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game.